So we've been running pretty good lately when it comes to submissions. I mean, just look behind me. I mean, yeah, I mean, do I need to say anything else? So if you've been following along, yeah, I've been submitting a lot of books lately to CGC. I've been working on my cleaning and pressing process. It's getting there. I mean, I feel like I'm getting to a place now where I kind of have a process and it's more efficient. And I'm getting less reversion, almost no reversion. Yeah, life is good right now. So I've got 9 books in here. This is not a pre-screen. I've been doing a lot of pre-screens lately. This is just a regular submission. But yeah, I was just looking over the books that's in this one. I might call this the cool cover submission. They're not like 9.8s or anything like that. They're like, 9s though. They should be 9.0, 9.5. 9.4, maybe even an occasional 9.6 in here if we get lucky. We've been getting loose Larry a little bit. I don't want to jinx myself, but I haven't gotten harsh Harry in a while. So hopefully we continue that trend and our books can keep finding that $50 bill I'm slipping into these submissions seems to be working. Yeah, I wish I could. Yeah, I don't think it works that way, but maybe it does. I mean, if anybody out there has tried bribing, tipping, maybe that's a better word. Let me know. Has that worked out for you? But yeah, anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get this open, and we'll take a look at these books together. And yeah, let's see if our luck continues. So the first book is one of my favorites of all time. As if you've been following the channel, you've probably seen this book 10 times. I just can't help myself. I said I was done with this book as far as submitting it goes, but yeah, anytime I see a super high grade copy, man, I just have to submit it. This one cost me $10. That's it. And I thought it was about a 9.0 when I got it. And I'm hoping to get it to a 9.4. So let's just see what we got. Okay, 9.6. That's certainly better than 9.4. Had no aspirations this was going to be a 9.8. But was extremely happy to get the 9.6 white pages. Yeah, so we're off to a good start. Grade higher than we expected. So that's good. So next we got an oldie but a goodie, 1980. Origin and first appearance of Calypso. This is Amazing Spider-Man 209. And yeah, this is a nice copy. It's a very fine copy, I thought. And I'm hoping to get it to a 9.0. That is where my grading tool is. And, I thought it looked nicer online when I bought it. I paid $39, so I probably overpaid for the condition that it's in. So I don't know how we're doing money-wise. It's got some value, though. This is a nice key that a lot of people want, obviously, in their collection, especially if you're a Spider-Man person. So let's see if we can get our 9.0 on this book. Yeah, let's just give it a 9.6. I mean, why not, Loose Larry? I mean, man, I'm looking at my notes here just to make sure I'm not looking at something wrong. Grading tool 9.0. I just don't know. 9.6? Yeah. Okay. This would be a great submission for me to get on one of those 9.6 kicks. When you're expecting 9.8s and you get all 9.6s, you're not happy. But when you're expecting 9.2, 9.4, whatever, we're happy about that. Okay, now we're getting to the massively cool cover section. Not that those didn't have cool covers, especially that first one. This one is just everybody's got to have this in their collection, right? Amazing Spider-Man 316. Pick this up whenever I see it for a good price. I got this one for $66. It looked like an ultra high grade copy. And that's a good price. I mean, that's anything under 100 for this book. Pretty much any reasonably high grade condition, you should probably pick this one up. Market's down a little bit, so it's a great time to buy this book if you're looking to get it. So yeah, I thought this was a 9.2 when I got it in, and I only thought I was able to get it to a 9.4. So once again, Loose Larry, are you going to give us a 9.6? No! Let's give us a 9.8! Ah! Wow! Holy cow! That's my second 9.8. I think second 9.8. Both white pagers. I got it right up here. I don't know if it's showing. Yeah, right here. I'll have to compare these two copies, see which one is the nicer one, and keep the nicer one in the PC, or keep both in the PC, maybe. Man, I don't even know what the value of this is right now, but it's pretty good. It's not a newsstand, obviously, but I mean, who doesn't want that? I mean, this is one that you might actually prefer, even though it's rare, for the newsstand. You might prefer that little Venom face right there on the bottom. Wow. Okay. Now I did recalibrate my grading tool. So this is with the old way. So I'm looking at some of the numbers here, and this one was in that range that it has an outside chance of a 9.6. Or maybe actually a better than 50-50 chance. So, yeah. So maybe I was a little bit harsh on myself there. So this book is probably deserving of the 9.6, 9.8. Wow. Okay, let's keep it rolling. Another one that everybody wants in their collection, especially if you like toys in the 1980s, you're going to love this one. And it's already on the wall here behind me, but this one is not as high grade of a copy. And the thing is, I got these in 3-packs, Transformers 1, 2, and 3. I bought 12 or 13 3-packs of these. Got a really good price, like 160, 170 bucks per pack, which is an amazing price because you would pay that just for one, at least, a raw copy of it. They go for up to $200 raw in high grade. So, got a really good deal. Bought them in bulk. And I've already gotten one 9.8 right here. Now this one is not a 9.8. It came with a corner crease. This was in the bag with this crease right here. The corner was folded over inside the poly bag or the bag or whatever. So it's not going to there's no danger of 9.8 on this one. But you can still get 9.2 with that because I've got a few books that have gotten 9.2 with that. So without looking at my notes here, I'm pretty much sure I'm looking for the 9.2 because the book's pretty perfect otherwise. This could be a 9.8 without that. So I'm looking for the 9.2. Maybe it's just not bad enough that we still could get the 9.4, but I'm happy with the 9.0, 9.2 on this book. Paid the average cost over the 3 books. So I technically got this for $59, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a good price regardless of what I got it for. So yeah, let's see if we can get our 9.2 on this book that we're hoping for. Okay, the 9.4 is the top of the range that I was hoping for. So yeah, I'm ecstatic about a 9.4. That is the only flaw in the whole book. It was a shame on this one too, because it had one of these rare spines on the back, the black spine on these. Look how good that is. So when I looked at this book, I didn't notice that corner. I was like, man, I got a 9.8 here, but then I looked at it and I was like, oh. Corners folded over. But that was the only one of the whole bunch that had that. And this was like the second book I got, so I was like, uh-oh. I was worried when I saw that, but yeah, my worrying was not needed because I probably am going to get at least 3 or 4 9.8s out of that batch, hopefully. I've already got one, so I've already made my money back on what I spent on all of the books because I've gotten a few 9.8s on number 2s and one on number 3 as well. And those have a lot of value in a 9.8. All right, so we're almost halfway there. So next we got a classic Daredevil. Everybody loves this blue cover right here, And this is when Kingpin discovers the identity of Daredevil, so it's a pretty big key. And I think this one might be in the TV series, if I'm not mistaken, or in one of the movies. Somebody tell me in the comments if this storyline has been covered. But yeah, Frank Miller, man. This is a great run. Anybody that collects Daredevil is going to want all these books around this vicinity, from like this is 227, I think 218, 219 all the way up. There's some great books in here. So yeah, this one I paid $52 for. Now when I say I paid, that includes taxes, shipping, everything. So total money into this book as far as what I bought it for is $52. And then of course there's grading costs. So when I give you like a value on the screen or profit on the screen, potential profit, it's after all of the fees like from eBay or shortboxed or wherever I sell the book. That's already factored in. So that net, and I'm pretty conservative with it. A lot of times when I say that I'm going to make $200 profit, I'll make $250 profit. So, if you play this game where you're conservative with your grading, conservative with your buying, and conservative with what you think the profit's going to be, you're going to do okay. And that's really the way to approach this hobby, if part of your hobby in this is buying and selling books. So you guys probably already, that's common sense, right? But don't get stars in your eyes when you're looking for these books and like, bid too high. Like set your price for bidding or what if it is an auction, and just stick to your numbers. There's a million of these books out there for the most part, and you'll just go for the next one. If you win 1 out of 3 auctions, but you got that excellent price for that 1 out of 3, you're going to make your money there. You make your money when you buy the book, not when you sell the book. That's pretty much true in just about anything, retail, wholesale, whatever. Okay, back to this book. I paid $52. It came in as a 9.4. My grading tool says 9.6. My updated grading tool probably would say this is a 9.8 though. So we're expecting this a good amount of the time to be 9.8. So let's see. Yeah, we got the 9.8. This was probably the nicest book with the fewest defects of all the books in this batch. So not surprised to get the 9.8 on this book. I mean, just look at it. Isn't that nice? This is like top end 9.8 here. No doubts. Look at that yellow spine right there. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, this is like one of those 9.85s. Not going to get the 9.9 obviously, but it's a top end 9.8. I'm probably going to have that one for sale soon, if not already, on Shortboxed if you want to check that out. My account is in the bio. Now, I'm not doing this channel to sell books. It's just a small part of what I do, but I only have room for so many books, so when I clean press, get a grade, I pretty much sell it unless it's a PC book, and I usually tell you if it's going to be a PC book. I don't know if there are going to be any PC books, except for maybe the Amazing Spider-Man 316 might be, I might keep that second copy, just as an investment, personal investment, because I think it's only going to go that way, right? So the next one is, this might be the second time I've worked on this book. I did a whole video where I cleaned press, showed the whole process on Avengers 196 several months ago. So if you want to look at that, if I can find the link, I'll put it in the description and right here above as well. So yeah, I spent $120 on this high grade copy here, which I think that's a decent price. I don't think it's like a phenomenally good price, but if I get the right grade, that can be a really good price. I thought it was a 9.2 when I got it, and I'm hoping for the 9.4. I'll be very happy with a 9.4 or better on this book. Come on, CGC. That is ridiculous. I did not... Wow. I had no hopes of getting a 9.8 on this book. I mean, it looks great, but a 9.8... I think there's a couple common defects on this book that they might discount. Man, they put this in the holder. I've noticed they've damaged books putting them in a holder recently. This one has been pushed in a weird way. You can see that little bend right there. That's like, I don't know. That needs to probably be pressed again and sent for mechanical error, but that's frustrating. I'll try and shift the book over in the case a little bit gently and see if that maybe gets it out of a bind, but that's a little bit disappointing. The box doesn't have a little bit of a dent on it, but it's not, I've seen a lot worse. It's not like, and none of the other books have been shifted like that I can see. So you think it was going to do it to one book. So I think that's just careless handling on somebody's part at CGC. And you hate to send back a 9.8 because they're going to probably, they might even press it for you. But then are they still going to give it the 9.8? I don't trust CCS or whatever they're called now pressing, honestly. So I don't know what to do with that one. We'll think about it. So now I have the Amazing Spider-Man 205 newsstand edition again. But this is a 1980 book once again. And this is a Black Cat cover, which people like. And yeah, Spider-Man like this, you know. So pretty cool cover. And this one has a pretty good amount of value to it, I believe, in the higher grades. I bought this for actually only $32. I thought I got a really good deal on this book. Hoping it would get a 9.4. I thought it was already like a 9.2 when I got it. I don't see any kind of bends on corners here, so this one wasn't damaged putting in the holder at least. So that's good. So yeah, let's see if we can keep the ball rolling here and see if we can get another good grade. Okay, 9.6. Very happy about that. 9.6 is an excellent grade when you're hoping for 9.4. Man, that book looks good. This book looks every bit as nice as that Avengers one I just showed you. It's got one of these spines where the white has it kind of bleeds over from the back cover. So usually when you see that, you don't get as many spine ticks or color breaks, and that can allow you to get a lot higher grade sometimes on average, because obviously the more color you have on the spine, the easier it is to get those color breaks when you get a tick. So I kind of look for that when I'm looking for books. Is if it has like a all white spine on it like that, I'll like, okay, I think I can fix this and maybe even get 9.6, 9.8 a lot of the times. I can resurrect a lot of books that have those white spines. All right, last two. Certainly not least two. This one. Yes. Love this book. One of my favorites. But this one I found fairly high grade. It was actually a CBCS 8.5. When I got it in, though, it had kind of a color breaking crease up here that you just can't get rid of the color break. I think this book is capped at 9.2. It's kind of borderline 9.0, 9.2. And measuring that little crease on the back, I'm pretty sure 9.2, 9.0 is where we're at. So I'm not going to do very well. I paid $280 on this book. I'm probably going to break even or lose a little bit of money unless I just happen to get 9.4 or something. I'm not sure what the dollars and cents are. I'll put that on the screen. So yeah, just hoping 9.0, 9.2 on this book. Okay, 9.0 white pages though. This book is notorious for getting off white to white pages, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, certainly happy to have a 9.0 copy of this book. And yeah, it's got a pretty significant tick right there as well. So yeah, it looked better in the pictures. Sometimes that happens. Last book. This is a cool one. This is why I saved this one for last. You might remember a couple weeks ago, I worked on a gentleman's green. Let me fix this up here before it falls off and reveals the gray. Fixed a gentleman's green lantern. I believe it was 87. Big key. He sent me this one as well. I had to submit it in a separate submission because obviously different tier. And a beautiful book though. I mean, I'm not a DC guy, as you know, but I mean, I can appreciate this one. It's a really cool book. And I think this is kind of one of his babies, the guy that sent it to me. So very interested to see how we can do on this, because obviously we did really well for him on the Green Lantern. That made his year, I think, as far as comics go. So this one, Superboy 216, in case I didn't mention it, was about... Actually, this was a slab. Okay, yeah, I remember now. This is an 8.5 slab, just like the Amazing Spider-Man 238. And, yeah, I thought we could only get it to a 9.0. A little bit disappointed that I don't think I was able to get it above that. But I think he'll be happy just to get that one level grade bump. Kind of nervous about this one, because I think there's a universe where this will get 8.5 again, and a really harsh grader could maybe even go 8.0. But my grading tool says 9.0 on this book. So yeah. Man, I get so nervous about other people's books. This is why I don't work on other people's books generally. Because man, I get nervous about my own books, but working on other people's books, oops, that's about to fall off. That really is nerve-wracking for me. It's getting better. It's been a good experience so far. I've gotten good results. Obviously, I mean, right? Man, I'm ecstatic about it. And hopefully we can continue that here. So we're hoping for a bump from an 8.5 to a 9.0. We're not asking for much here, CGC. Can we do it? Now, the book looks infinitely better regardless. So yeah, there's that. So let's see if we can get that 9.0 at least. Yeah! Beautiful. Okay. He's going to be happy about that one too. 9.4 is a very strong grade on this book. There's something on this case here. Okay, just a piece of cardboard or something. No Newton rings on this one. I saw Newton rings on a couple others that I didn't mention, especially that first one. What was it? The X-Men 207 had pretty bad Newton rings. I'll have to look the rest of them over. I have a little bit of a correction for that. I have a trick, if you want to call it that, where you can get rid of a good majority, if not all, of Newton rings. I'll put a link in the description to that video in case you get Newton rings. There is something you can do without just sending it back to CGC, because we don't want to do that, right? We don't want hands on our books more than we have to put them there. So I've done a pretty good job of getting rid of a lot of Newton rings in my collection with this one little trick. So that's it for today. I mean, man, this video ran way too long. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep these at like 10, 12 minutes, but I just get going, man. I just can't stop. And so I apologize. But thanks for watching. Stay nerdy. And I will see you again in the next video.